Cruise, it seems, is where I make my dreams as I travel to that Trinary star. Can I leave my seat, take a stroll and stretch my feet, though I promised not to go too far. I could climb onto a fog or base, or maybe dangle from a planetary hat. Take a stairway up to heaven, jumping ship to ship. I'm sure we'll make it there together. Yeah, we'll always pull together. The space madness ate this mind. How many years ago you can tell from all the babble, but we're all mad. It seems together. Instance dreams keep reminding me of screens where I found another binary Earth-like pair. I need to leave this seat, oh, before it starts to eat me. Hyper-addicted by my bobblehead, this Braben talking. What did he say to me? Oh, was it one of those brain trees? I think I heard a peduncle speak. I'm in too deep. Rex has got me craving tinfoil hats. I'm just degrading. The space madness ate this mind. How many years ago you can tell from all the babble, but we're all mad. It seems together. Instance Wrexler's on your mind. Not even like a needle in a haystack. Someone's been there but they never went back. Is it a gateway or maybe more? Wrexler's on your mind. There's a mystery machine wrapping up my every dream. Now there's tinfoil everywhere. I don't know who is who or care. time to fight. Hear everybody jumping, dropship circle fast. Can't hear my heart a pumping. Frontline is the way, the ship floor opens up. It's time to lock and load, game over, man, wish me some luck. My comma's running fine, I'll hit you every time. This combat zone is back, come take it ho. Alpha Beta Delta's calling, grenades and rockets falling. Commanders leap to the skies, on this day I will die. To destroy, I jump from every rooftop, my rockets are deployed. Call me the Dominator, a combat innovator. I'll be your liquidator, explosive detonator. Reload fast, hear the click, return to blast. Shields are reading magical, purple fire eating through you. On this day, all will die. Really pumping, laser fires around, my shields can take a thumping. I'm running low on power, can't find a USB. I'm pressing buttons while the enemy runs over me. Panic starts, breath is loud, vision red, this ain't allowed. I think my pants are falling, apex I'm really calling. Shields are flying, grenades hit, on the fence something is hit. Commanders leap to the sky, on this day I will die. You know what to do. Oh yeah. I got myself a mission. Gonna get dark in commission. Been speeding through your mouth, not all night long. There's an action that I might regret, cause the daddy's got a big call. That's all highway out for the morning call. Go, 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 let's go. We're our highway cab before the morning comes. Yeah, the local gangs like to try it on. liberties, oh, it feels so good. That's right. I got myself a mission, gonna get Dark King permission. I'm speeding through your mail slot all night long. I'd love to hang out longer, but daddy's got an anaconda, so I'll highway out before I see those guns. Go, let's go. I'd love to live in anarchy. It's the only way a man can be free. But the legends are really fast, so come on board, I'll take you for a pass. Long time sweeping out my honey's rare. I don't give a damn if you're in for a fair. The pilots and guns got you in my sight. Ready for action? You know it feels alright. My agent ain't for the lines, it cannot lose. Will I interdict? You can't predict. Play cat or mouse until we both submit. I got myself a mission, gonna get Dark King permission. Been speeding through your mail slot all night long. Come on, don't be frightened for some zero-G excitement. Let me tumble through the address for some fun. Let's go. Let me tumble through your hands, rest for some fun. Yeah.
and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
And the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous.
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from a car in the Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo!
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio!
Lave Radio.
Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 519 of Lave Radio, the show that talks about the universe of Elite Dangerous and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Phoenix of Fire, otherwise known as Colin Ford, Chief Archivist of Lave Station. And joining me in this rather packed orange Sidewinder bar, we have our SRV Banksy, that's Commander Alec Turner.
Blimey, crowded in here. Budge up. Hey, everyone.
I blame the Staff Liaison Officer, Commander Claire.
It's because Commander Claire.
Commander Claire.
Okay. It's because you're all man spreading. Just put your legs together. Jesus.
Which means that we'll have our the Tech Gibbon of the Chris Mark IV.
Scooch over a bit, Psychic. Come on,
My
scooch over.
guy. My guy.
And we have the Tech the Tight Primate of the Chris Mark V.
Stop touching me there, Alec.
And the Tech Baboon of Epaphis, sorry.
Make a little bit of room. There's got one coming in.
What is happening?
Amazing.
Oh,
Little bit of role play.
It was beautiful. It was a beautiful moment. It was gorgeous. I loved every second of it.
So if you wish, you can join us live. I do believe the Chris Mark IV is hanging out in-game at Lave Station. So keep him company. But if you can't get to us in-game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live. Click on the live chat, or go straight to twitch.tv/laveradio, or we're also on YouTube. But yeah, there's that there. So let's go around this rather larger crew than normal and see how they are. So we'll start with Commander Psychic. Otherwise known as Claire.
That's my name. Hi, what have I been up to this week? I've been playing computer games. I've been playing a lot of computer games. These computer games have mostly involved Elite Dangerous, Planet Coaster, a little tiny smidge of Mass Effect, some Baldur's Gate 3 with my husband, which has been very, very fun. We're playing a modded lineup, so we've got like 1 million people with us. So we've also added a mod that increases the health pools of the enemies, so they do get a go. And we're playing on tactician as well, so everything just feels like it hits a lot harder and you miss a bit more. So it feels balanced to have a party of 8 people, and you don't feel like you're just treading water and going through it. It's been a lot of fun. We're not out of Act 1 yet, but it's been really good. What else have I been up to? Have I been it's been a bit damp, isn't it? It's been a bit damp and a bit windy. So I've done a sensible thing and stayed inside the house, which isn't usual. It's definitely usual. It's what I do every week. I stay inside the house and am hermit. What's the other thing that? Oh yeah, so I've got to apologise. I know I've got to apologise to everyone and say it turns out that your Power Play weeklies aren't mandatory.
Told you.
I know. Now my only reason for discovering this is because I had to. I had one of my Power Play weeklies this week was to do 280,000 credits worth of crimes.
That's a lot of crime.
It's a lot of crime. It is an awful lot of crime, and unfortunately, within the time constraints that I have, during which the time that I play Elite Dangerous, and my general ineptitude, I was only able to do like 207,000 credits worth of bounties, which was done predominantly with all on-foot murders. So I killed 207 NPCs to get that. And then at that point, I lost the will to live. So and I'm level 40 now, so I'm going to get 10 on Thursday. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to rip the bit because I don't have enough time in my week to do 10 missions. Even if they were all 10 just delivery missions, I don't think I'd get them all done. So the likelihood is I'll get like 7 on foot shit. So I've got to rip the bit and say that they're not mandatory anymore. But it was fun while it lasted. Damn my leveling up for being so efficient.
I don't know if I can live in a world. I don't know if I can live in a world where there's too much murder for you. So
I know, mate. I tell you what it was. I went and killed like so many people on one base in Zeons. I killed so many people, and I'm not gonna lie, I was just picking them at random. It wasn't Zeons. It was an Ashling space. That might have been a little bit more targeted. I'm not going to lie, but I killed so many people in this one base in Ashling space, and then about sort of like 20 minutes into killing all of these people and having the alarm go and having all of the level 3 reinforcements come and people dropping in and all of that, about 20 minutes in, I realized that I wasn't getting any bounties from it. And then I double checked it and it was an anarchy settlement. That's totally on me. I totally get it, but also such a sour taste in my mouth. And then going back and doing it again in another spot, it was really fun. It was really, really fun doing all of the killing and getting away with it and running away and not dying and all of that kind of stuff. But my hands don't work 100%. So doing like a good couple of hours of pointy shooty stuff, like I'm playing a lot of Marvel Rivals at the moment, but I can only do it in short moments, like short bursts, and doing one thing, like repeating stuff with my hands over and over again, which is pretty much what fucking running around killing NPCs until they die is a problem. So everything was against me. So I ripped the bit, and it turns out they're not mandatory, and everybody do whatever the fuck you want.
Fair enough.
Basically.
Well, we apologise for all the murder that's been happening.
I don't apologise for killing lots of Ashling supporters. No, that's not a problem.
But yes, I mean, you must be kicking yourself about the anarchy thing, though, because that's just a waste of murder, really, isn't it?
Well, I mean, I wasn't even murdering to take things, so it wasn't like even an Ari's Mind situation. I know Ari's Mind isn't a thing anymore, but it wasn't even like an Ari's Mind thing, so I couldn't justify it by that. But it was a good sort of like 15-20 minutes, and then I was like, oh shit, I'm not getting bounties from this. And like, if I'd done maybe another 15-20 minutes, would I have done the full two in a place that mattered? Would I have done the full 280? I don't know, probably not, because I ended up with 207. So doing the math, killing another 80 people would be would be a lot to do, and I think my hands would have given up first rather than anything else. So it is what it is. I'm already over it.
You were doing it for the thrill of the hunt, not for the money.
Hell yeah, it's so fun, repetitive. Well, you know what the definition of madness is? Doing the same thing over and over and again and expecting different results. Okay.
Okay, Alec. Give us a rundown of your week then.
Right, will do. Out of game, I don't know there's much to report. I ate, slept, and went to work, that kind of thing, mostly. I did go to a garden centre for breakfast, and I've been binge watching. This is old news. Netflix does this. It throws things at you, and you think they're new, and then you watch them, and then you tell everyone about it, and they go, yeah, that's 5 years old. I've been watching Taboo with Tom Hardy, which is quite interesting. In-game, I've been doing shed loads. So Saturday night, more on this later maybe, was the first event in the Elite Racers new Titan Cup. So during the week I was doing a lot of SRV practice, driving round and round not tracked Ihazovich research facility, suck it Burr, who couldn't pronounce that. And then we had the race itself on Saturday night, which was fab, and we had about 15 people in the instance of driving SRVs around, and it was an absolute hoot, really good fun. A great success, great way to start the season. I too have failed to do my weeklies. So after the race, I thought, oh, I'll go on, I'll do my weeklies, and my first one, I hadn't entirely spotted this, but it obviously assigns you your weeklies slightly based on where you happen to be in the galaxy at that point on Thursday morning, or whenever it is you log in after the reboot. And because the Elite Racers thing was out in the Pleiades, my very first weekly was to kill enemy power ships in pretty much. It wasn't the system where the race was, but it was very nearby. So it's basically in the Pleiades, in a system where there was zero power play activity. It wasn't contested or being acquired by anyone. And I was supposed to kill enemy power ships in a system that had no power presence whatsoever. Ludicrous. So I didn't do my weeklies. I did manage to do what I've been threatening to do for almost months now, and I managed to create a tutorial for people on how to create their own ED Copilot time trials. I really should have had a script. I found it absolutely infuriating trying to make this video, mostly because I was trying to do it all in one take without a script. But I did actually manage to do it eventually. So it's about 20 minutes long. It's not bad. I'm quite pleased with it. And as of yesterday, I am now back in the Spirograph Nebula for a just about competition. Again, more on that later, I think.
Nice. Right, well, in that case, we'll move over to let's start at the bottom of the pile, the Chris Mock 4.
Hello. Yeah, what have I been up to? Not a ton. A bit like Alec, it's been a lot of work, eat, sleep, repeat kind of stuff going on. Have been busy doing all sorts of little different bits and pieces. I did go off and see the Bob Dylan film that's been at cinemas with Timmy Chalamet in it, which I quite enjoyed. Thought it was good.
On my list.
Good music and all that sort of stuff.
Also on my list, actually.
Yeah, no, he's very good in the part. Very good in the part. And if you like Bob Dylan's music already, then you are sorted, and there's some good performances in there as well.
Does he adequately portray the persona of a cantankerous old bastard?
I think he manages to get the cantankerousness and the bastardness in there entirely. So I think it doesn't shy away from that at all. So
good. Excellent.
Yes, I think you'll get that element from it. He's not very old in this because he's being played by Timmy Chalamet, but the cantankerousness and the bastardness, I think you get in there. But yeah, enjoyed that one, and usual radio nonsense at the weekend. Gaming wise, I have not been in Elite a ton recently. I've went back to trying to finish off Jedi Survivor that I was partway through, and I am still not finished with that. I have diddled about a little bit in Elite, but not that much. Sort of doing little live radio missions to try and film myself some new B-roll for when I'm doing the stream. That's as exciting as it's got. So yeah, that's been me.
Excellent. Okay, next one up, Chris Mark 5.
I'm in Elite at the moment.
I can see that.
Yep. Apart from that, pretty much been playing Marvel Rivals, been playing Baldur's Gate 3, where my character is Jim the Gardener. He's a druid.
That would explain it.
Yes.
He's so funny.
He occasionally turns into bear and gets uppies from Mama K. He's happy in his life.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
What happens between someone and their bear is up to them.
I haven't done that yet.
Chris did ask really nicely if he could have Howson this time.
Yep. I wish to scale the mount. Apart from that, not much. Getting angry at power play weeklies, the usual.
Yes.
I'm refusing to do
none
one.
None of us get angry at power play weeklies.
I'm refusing to do one on the basis that it's stupid and it should feel bad.
Oh, I completely agree. I've got a similar thing to warm the soapbox with anyway.
Yeah, destroy rival power members, but it's only specific power members.
Can I just say, if the High Wake happens to be listening, I think a cartoon highlighting all the ludicrous ways in which weekly power play missions can fuck you up would be hilarious.
Yes, I completely agree. Wholeheartedly. But we'll wait till my bit. Okay, Apathis.
Mostly been playing Elite. I was doing practice for the race on Saturday, and then was working on my mandatory weeklies. The only one I've got left to do is
they're not mandatory.
The bounties one.
Let it finish, mate. Let it die.
Yeah, I left the bounties one because I didn't want to get stuck with notoriety and then crash in the race and not have to pay a fine off or something like that. So I didn't want it to interrupt that. So I've not got around to doing that one yet.
Lovely.
Yeah, and that's about it, really.
Excellent. Well, real life is pretty much eat, code, get paid for coding, get home, have your bike tires completely ruined by drunks leaving smashed glass bottles outside the pubs. Just every usual week for me. However, in the world of video games, I've been doing a lot of exploring in Elite. My commander is now 1,000 light years closer to Colonia than she's ever been before.
Hooray!
Yay! So she's only got 8,000 light years left. But because I'm going a meandering course, God knows how long that's going to take her. I've also done some power play weeklies. Well, one of them, because I was if anybody saw my stream on Sunday, again, I apologize. Most of it was me completely forgetting to pick up limpets, then going around every station in the system that I was in to find that none of the stations sold limpets apart from the one that I started with. So yeah, that was a good start. Then I found out that the cargo, you can only get the cargo from the power play areas. You can't get the cargo from bits that are just points of interest which are on planets or anything like that. So yeah, that was more wasted time. But I'm now level 10. So I know it's a long way behind, but
Ooh, yay, go Colin.
Yeah, double figures.
Woohoo! I'm so pleased for you because you've actually been participating with what your power wants to do. I would have been
All I can say about that is it doesn't pay well. Get your weeklies done, then help your power. But in this case, I had to help defend a rather powerful undermining attack against one of the planets that we just fortified. So, or acquired rather. So yeah, that was interesting. There's me flying around in open all the time, but there's no other. But it doesn't seem to be anybody else flying in open. It's all being done behind the scenes, which is well, never mind. But yeah, but the big news this week was that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth came out on the PC, and I booted it up, started playing, and I was crying because it is that beautiful. And yeah, and then it crashed.
Did you cry again?
No, because I rebooted and 10 minutes later it was working fine. But yeah, it's not the most stable of games, and it sometimes throws some graphical wobblers that makes my graphics card go, you want me to do what? But so far, it is everything I ever wanted, which is basically Final Fantasy VII crossed with Final Fantasy 15, with the open world of Final Fantasy 15, and I am loving it. So yeah, I'm not even at. I'm only just started chapter 2 at the moment, but I don't care. I'm going to enjoy this game like a fine wine. So yeah, that's my week. So let's see what Frontier have had to say for themselves this week. Well, turns out we did get the actual release to the stock market last week, but they did a financial results presentation with Johnny Watts and Alex Bevis, where they went through the entire results for the last 6 months, and it was incredibly positive. Elite even got its own little section at the end, which it never did for quite. It hasn't had for quite a while. And there was a couple of things that we did notice. It does look like Elite Dangerous at the moment is going to. It's about £140 million worth of revenue that they've brought in since launch, which is an astonishing number. Admittedly, yeah, it's over 10 years. But looking at the graph, we can estimate that Elite is pulling into Frontier almost 10 million over the last year. So
wait, what? How are we estimating that? Were you basing that on what?
The difference in the graph between last year and this year.
And they said exactly how much it was last year, did they?
No, but you can see where it crosses at the 100 million and the
where's the sorry, just to clarify, where's the marks?
In the show notes.
It's not the graph in the show notes.
I was looking at the graph in the show notes. Sorry, I was looking at the graph in the show notes. That's why I'm confused. My apologies.
Yeah, that's okay, because what the graph in the show notes will show us is the PDLC, which is the paid download content that they were saying they were quite happy with. Yeah, you can see in the graph that it basically trundles along at the occasional bump, and then there's a massive bump when the Python Mark II is released. It's repeated, not as high, but the Type 8 is released, and then it goes gangbusters when the Mandalay is released. So yes, no wonder they're quite pleased with it. So yeah, that's going to hopefully. There's going to be a lot more Elite content coming this way if what Johnny Watts said at the very end.
Looks like it. I thought it was also really nice because I think the same report is available in a written form, but actually the video, maybe we'll include the link, is worth watching because what I thought was lovely was you could tell that Johnny Watts was like genuinely like excited to be able to talk about Elite in a positive way. It was like, yeah.
If you're just looking for the Elite moment, it starts at 1920 in it, about 1920. So there you go. I've saved you some scrolling.
Oh, yeah.
But the rest of it's really good as well. It's really, really good. I watched the whole of it. It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a financial report, it was quite interesting to watch. Yeah, it's good.
So you're going, what the fuck am I doing watching financial reports?
Yeah, I know.
Well, we all know that, if the company's not making money, then there goes our game. So, always good to know. So, in short, bringing in more money, thumbs up. Anybody else got any other observations?
More money, more ships.
We hope
More
so.
ships equals good.
I mean, makes sense. Money good.
More ships equal good, and they've created a niche in which for them to create more and more ships, as long as they don't add stability in SEO to the previous ships. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So they can continue doing this for as long as they can to give us more ships with all of the versatility of the ships that don't have the SEO stability. So it is a license for them to print money at the moment if they have the available staffing to create the ships. I think they probably do.
I've got a horrible feeling they're going to be an Adamark II soon, isn't there?
Panzer Clipper, mate, it's coming.
No,
It's happening.
Alliance Conqueror.
Guaranteed.
So.
Alliance Conqueror, that's what it'll be. A big ship with a little flappy, twirly engines. Job done.
we all just like yelled. Well, like one of the things that we just yelled is definitely going to stick. Just FYI, and the boa as well. Don't forget that.
Yeah. Except I don't want mine to stick. I want mine to slide off the wall and
maybe what if it's really good, Colin? What if the Adamark II is just like the best ship in the game? What if, mate?
If it is, I will crap in my hands, then clap.
Brilliant.
Frontier, you know what to do.
I need it.
Even if it's just a bug for 1 week where it's the greatest ship in the world ever, make it so. Thank you.
I thought that was the case with the Mandalay and that they kept it. Wow.
Oh dear. No, that's not all that they've announced. We now can welcome some new Elite Partner Program members. These include the AXI Madman Commander Mechan. We've got Commander Totally Not a Demon.
Which is exactly what a demon would say.
Mm-hmm. Jurassic Acid Gaming. Mr. Warpath with a whole load of elite spelling. Mint Toby, Vindicious, and Mile 13 Gaming. Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. So, I think that brings us up to date.
Mm-hmm.
Alec, would you like to have your community news?
Hit it.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Right, let's go. Community corner. First up, we have, I think we mentioned it on last week's show, Nicey's Power Play Assistant, which is a website where you can basically type, sort of select what type of power play activity you like, what power you're working for, and where you are, that kind of thing, and it'll basically tell you what to go and do. There's a change log for it, and one of the things it includes, which is super cool, it's still a work in progress. I don't think it's fully up yet, but there's a mega ship search. So those missions you get to scan mega ships, it will give you info about that activity. What I read somewhere, I don't think it's in the changelog even, but it's really cool, is that Nicey has so mega ships have, what did they call it, a flight plan. And I think they basically loop around 6 different systems in a cycle. So it will take that into account. So when you go, I would like to go and scan mega ships near this system for whatever power, rather than telling you what the current information in something like Anara will tell you, which is probably just before the Thursday tick and therefore exactly where the mega ship isn't going to be. It will attempt to tell you where the mega ship actually is going to be. Really cool. So yeah, Nicey is looking into all sorts of ways of making this a really useful assistant for doing power play stuff. Right, next up, we mentioned just about occasionally. I thought I'd throw this one out there because there's sort of, well, I think they've stopped calling them bounties now, but sort of reward things that you can do on just about. There's loads all the time. I like this one particularly. It's basically the task is film the prettiest 120 seconds of gameplay that you can. I love that. I think there's so much
It's a
scope
really
in
good
that.
idea.
So yeah, go make a 2-minute video of the prettiest gameplay you can imagine, and I think you can win $6 for doing that. So good one. That's what I'm doing at the moment. It's a lot of fun. Next up is a video. This is, I don't know, I wasn't sure whether I was going to include this or not, but I just think it's really interesting. Takoso sort of popped this up on X or Blue Sky. Oh, it would be on Blue Sky. So it's a video by a group, a show, I guess, called Completely Machinima, and I think they have a website as well, and they basically review sort of animated machinima videos that people have made. And I don't know how they stumbled upon it. I think possibly one of them plays Elite, but they reviewed the Little Limpet. It's really funny to see something from sort of so within the Elite Dangerous community in the world of Elite Dangerous being reviewed completely out of context on its own merits, mostly by a panel of people who have no idea what Elite Dangerous is, apart from one of them. They loved it, and they talked a lot about, you know, how beautifully the sort of Blender animations merged with the live game background stuff, and how there were no fuzzy edges to any of it, and how beautifully Takoso's music kind of gave the characters character, and it's really interesting to watch. They were completely confused by why the Limpet was left behind, sort of crashed into an asteroid and was left behind, and didn't really get that that's what Limpets do in Elite Dangerous. So that's what you get for reviewing it slightly out of context. But yeah, interesting to see something from Elite done like that. Next up, we have a video by Loot and Grind, who feature occasionally. It's I think we've featured videos along a similar topic before, but Loot and Grind has just discovered using the Open Track software with a cheap webcam to add head tracking to Elite Dangerous. And basically, pretty much as anyone who discovers head tracking will say, they were just blown away by it, and are raving about how completely game-changing that's been to be able to just look around while you're flying. And it gives a little bit of sort of advice on how to use OpenTrack and what settings to pick in the OpenTrack software. So yeah, if you don't yet have head tracking, and you have or can lay your hands on a cheap webcam, it doesn't have to be a fancy webcam, I think just an old cheap webcam maybe that you don't use anymore, then get the OpenTrack software, watch this video, and try head tracking, because it's amazing. Right. Item 5 is another in the series of Flight Assist Off videos by I Told You that I've been promoting, the sort of Isanona inspired series. I won't keep mentioning these every week. They're great, but I did want to mention this because it's interesting. They've taken the decision to reset their Elite Dangerous save. That's not a big spoiler because it happens right at the beginning of the episode. I think that's a really bold move. Like, if you're going to make a video series and you're sort of looking for inspiration, and one of the things about this sort of video series is you're taking missions that are going to pay like 50,000 credits, and you basically want to be playing a character where that is still meaningful. You know, if you've been playing for 10 years, you're sort of pretending when you take those missions, but by resetting their save, these missions count, you know, and so it makes the storytelling much more genuine and exciting. And I think it's a really bold and brilliant decision to really commit to making this video series. Love it. Right. Next is a video of mine. I mentioned at the beginning of the week, at the beginning of the show, that I made a tutorial on how to create time trials for ED Copilot. So yeah, it's 20 minutes, and it's basically me showing from start to finish the creation of a really simple SRV time trial with about 5 waypoints. I go and I set down the waypoints, and I do the authoring you need to do. I import it into Copilot, and I run the time trial and demonstrate how it works. So yeah, if you fancy, I should have included it in the show notes, but Razafrag, who developed ED Copilot, is going to do another promotion for time trials. I think he did the same last year. basically offering something like 1 billion credits transferable by fleet carrier to the winner. The winner will be drawn out of a hat. So basically, anyone who takes part in one of the ED co-pilot time trials in February, their name gets entered into a draw, and the winner will get picked out randomly and will win. I think it's 1 billion credits. So yes, once again, the month of ED co-pilot time trials.
Fleet carrier fund.
Yeah. Next up, talking about ED Copilot, I just wanted to shout out another little website. There's a website developed by Stardust Brothers that I think we've shouted out before. It's pinned in the ED Copilot Discord, which shows the maps for all the ED Copilot time trials. Does beautiful aerial shots of all the courses and lays out the course really nicely. So another fan of time trials, Duck, Commander Duck, who was in the Elite Racers race event on Saturday, has got another website which focuses on the leaderboards. It's super cool because it shows all the races and it colors them depending on whether there's been a recent update to the leaderboard in the last day or the last week, so you can see at a glance where there's been some action. And then when you click on those, it goes into the leaderboards and shows you who's moved up and how many seconds they've moved up the leaderboard and stuff. So it's a really nice website for looking at the leaderboards. Right, item 8, Distant Worlds 3. We talked about this last week. That thread continues to grow. It's like 800 posts or something now of people going, yes, please. So basically there was an announcement in that thread, this time from Pankro Vantas, one of the other organizers. I'll just read this out. They say, that pretty much tells us what we needed to know in regards to player enthusiasm for another such event, and we are pleased to announce that we will now start considering ways to bring DW3 into reality. So basically, DW3 is greenlit and the planning begins. Good news, I think, for everyone excited about that. Right, talking about expeditions, I was just going to mention the Loose Screws, who we shout out in the show notes at the end every week. The Loose Screws have their own expedition, which is Distant Screws 3, and that will be setting off from Ross 310 5D on Sunday the 2nd of February. Obviously, there's a fair few people involved in that. If you're a big fan of the Loose Screws and you listen every week, you're probably in their Discord and you probably know already. But if you're not in the Discord or you didn't know, then yes, they have their own expedition, sort of annual expedition called Distant Screws. This one sounds like it will be a lot of fun. I'm sure they're a great bunch. The plan, I think, is to head for the Caper Traverse DSSA fleet carrier. I confess I don't know where that is, but it's somewhere out there in the galaxy. I'm guessing before you get to Colonia. And then from that carrier, the expedition is going to split into two. I think that's the plan. And one group will head to Colonia, and the other group will head to Dryman's Point across the Hawkins Gap.
Ooh.
There'll be an event there's a Discord event for that, and there'll be a link to that in the show notes. Right, last up, item 10, the Elite Racers Titan Cup, which I mentioned it. So the first race, there's going to be 8 of these, every 3 weeks. So the first race, Tyrannus Tussle, took place on Saturday night. It was an SRV, a 3-lap SRV race around the Noctrak Ehazovich research facility out in the Pleiades. The terrain is a little bit bumpy, not terribly bumpy, but it is as slippery as absolute. It's like an oil slick on ice that a lorry load of banana skins has been shed on.
Oh shit!
So, yeah, it was a hell of a lot of fun. You've got to be so careful on the throttle. The minute you try and open up the throttle, you just spin around in circles. So you had to be very cautious. And there's also a Thargoid crash ship there, so it was quite a lot of fun spinning around that. So the results in reverse order, we had, I think, 15 attendees, which is awesome. We had OES, Jordan Walk, and Mr. Indigo, all of whom had DNFs or didn't start for whatever reason. They were spectating or they had disconnects, which is a shame. But of those that raced in reverse order, John Eck 11, Kevin the Stabber, Walter Wall, Spaceman 22, Epaphras, yay!
Hey!
Tobias von Brandt, who was the organiser of the event, MK Max, Crank Larson, Ikaru Sulu, Duck, yours truly, Alec Turner, Shay Blackwood, and winning the event, Commander Skur. Really good fun, great racing. And if anyone's interested, then jump into the Elite Races Discord because there's 7 more events. They're not all SRV. The next race is going to be a classic Orbis ship race where you kind of launch through the mail slot and do flips around the habitation rings and that kind of thing. So that should be a lot of fun. That's happening in, can't remember, 3 weeks' time. Oh no, I've got it in the show notes. It's happening at the Oracle on the 15th of Feb.
Nice.
Yeah, a lot of fun. And that's this week's Community Corner.
Excellent. So if you have a community event taking place soon and would like us to shout about it across the airways, tweet the crew at Lave Radio, email us at info@laveradio.com, or just wait for Alec to find you. Because he will. So, the in-game events. What's been happening this week? They said something about power play.
They did.
Which is what we do every week. And I do believe we now have a new format for this.
Let's go. Your music's playing, Colin. Let's go.
Okay, at place number 11, we have the Spider Queen herself. That's Torval. She's 419 systems at the moment. Actually, she's lost a couple. Then we have our federal president, President Winters. She's not doing well either. She's lost a couple of systems. She's down to 483. Then we have the Pirate King himself, Delaney. He's actually improved by 1, so 592. The serious Senator Kane, she's actually up a place with 615. But that very staunch Imperial Petraeus, he stays where he is, having just pulled. He's pulling ahead. He's fine. We have Antal at 688, but the big mover has been that Starship impersonator Archer, who is now the Imperial Shadow President. He's now at 690, having overtaken Antal in the ratings. Sorry, Alec. We've got Lee Young-Ru at 742. Then we have the Russian vodka drinker, Commander Grom. He's at 1001. We have Arissa. Emperor Harissa is now moved up to 1,289, and then we have the final two. We have the Bluehead Princess, Princess Aisling. She's actually gained 20 systems this week and gone up to 1,394, and still ahead at the top we have Mahan with 1,414. However, he is beginning to lose the lead. The Bluehead Princess is catching him up. Maybe just by 1 or 2 systems a week, but it does seem to be an upward trend. And that is your Power Play rankings this week.
Yay!
Amazing.
Thank you to Koso for writing that little track for us. It's very cool.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to practice getting the timings right on that one.
We've got to do numbers, Colin. You've got to go coming in at number 4. And
no!
Come on.
And the non-mover at number 1.
Exactly. You'll get there, Colin. You'll get there. We'll keep working it. Keep working it. It's fine.
Not off. Right.
Hey.
So that brings us to that time of the week again.
Store alert!
Well, looking at this, we have the competitor ship kits for the Eagle, the Python, the Mamba, the Cobra Mark III, and the Viper Mark III. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to move fast while looking like a stolen McDonald's hamburger, these are the ship kits for you.
My eyes.
Only one of them is ba 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 ba. I'm loving it.
Yeah. Okay. These are controversial.
They're a bit Marmitey, aren't they?
Almighty within my own head. I honestly can't decide if they're horrific or awesome.
I hate the 07. And we talked about that. I think I mentioned it last week that I hate the bloody...
Yes, you have.
Yeah. I said that I hate the 07, and then they've put it on a fucking ship. But I know. Do other ships have 07 on them as well? Not like this, though. Not with like a little O and a big
I love
7.
the 07.
Oh, hate it.
Oh, God.
And this is the thing. There's a couple of the color palettes that I kind of like. I like the black and white one. I really like that one. I think that one's kind of cool. I like the purple one. I like the green one, and I like the one which is pink, like bright pink and blue, but only on the Mamba because the Mamba has the shiny skins. But the ship kit, the little engines, they twirl.
They do. I mean,
that's nice.
They're a bit like jet engines, except in space.
In space, where there's no air.
It's kind of like kids' toy design, isn't it? Where you'd have like little engines on the side.
This is going to sound really weird, I suppose, but there's only one out of them. Well, no, maybe two that I would be tempted with, and that is the Eagle and the Mamba. Have I just managed to offend anybody with that?
The Eagle's got like 2 spoilers on it, doesn't it? It's got like 2 of the wing bits on the back. Is that right?
Yes. Because it needs double the downforce, Psychic.
Okay.
It's going so
in
fast.
Space.
All right.
In space, you need downforce, Psychic.
I think the Eagle is my least favourite because it's quite a small. There's too much going on for such a small ship. There's a lot going on in a.
They're very busy. All of them are very busy.
Oh yeah, that is an understatement.
Do you know how they used to sort of paint ships during the war to distract you, where you were like, I can't tell if that's a destroyer or if it's like a tiny speedboat. I just can't work it out. I think that's
dazzle
what
camouflage.
Exactly, dazzle.
Yeah.
But obviously, as a racer, I sort of feel like I might have to get one.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Especially if Buckyball goes ahead this year, and if with the caveat of if Frontier fixes the long jump times, and thus the Buckyball goes ahead this year, and we still keep the Cobra Mark III as the regulation, even though I've shat on this a lot. I'm going to end up getting it.
I'm afraid I think we're not going to keep the Cobra Mark III.
Yes! Okay, we're going to save 16,000 hours.
Just looking at the video that's playing on the feed, I do like that the extra engines, when you boost, seem to also act as jets. So they're not sort of just... I thought they were just kind of static elements, but they do actually work.
It's so silly, isn't it?
Even more thrust! More thrust!
Work in inverted
downforce.
Work in inverted commas. Yes, along with.
I think it's like the equivalent of like you know when you were a kid and you used to put like a plastic bottle in your bike spokes, so it would make like the like motorbike sound. Do you think it's the equivalent of that?
Yes.
But for your spaceship.
We used to use lollipop sticks.
Yeah.
I've just seen the yellow and blue one.
Oh, the grey looks awful.
I like the grey.
The
yellow
playing
and blue
cards.
one is Minions. There is a Minions themed one. Why have I not noticed this?
Yeah, some of it's just a track playing in your ship that's like as you drive away with the whirly engines going.
It is literally just me with the soapbox noise before we had the soapbox noise. That's all you get.
Oh, and yeah, looking to the other colours, and I'm like, okay, that is a very bold choice of green.
It's wild. I didn't even notice that it was yellow and blue. I thought it was like yellow and silver. Oh, that's bad. I mean, each to their own. Someone's going to like it.
Yes. Well, I must admit, I do like the engine detailing. I do. It's very Jetsons.
I just hope they bring it to the Cobra Mark 5 so that when we're doing Buckyball, I can put it on.
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I would like that.
Yeah, we want a double spoiler for the Cobra Mark 5.
You know what? You don't have to have... You can buy the ship kit, but you just get the skins for free. It will go with other skins, right?
I see. But only on these ships, though, right?
Yeah. So say I didn't want to. I'm loving it. A Cobra.
Cobra.
I did want the pretty, but I could like use a vibrant purple skin or something on it, and then it will all be purple and that kind of cool stuff.
Yeah, if you just want the fake jet engine, but not the horrific colours.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of arcs to pay for a fake jet engine, isn't it?
Yeah,
I mean,
you
do get 2 parts of a ship kit and 6 skins. So I mean that's. Oh, it says 3 themed kit pieces depending on which one you have actually, and 7 paint jobs. So must have read that wrong right to begin with. But yeah, I must admit I do quite like the rotating turbines. So yeah.
I look forward to Psykit rocking up in our sort of our done up space Corsa.
Oh,
Yeah, we just need Tron lights underneath the bottom of them, don't we?
Neon lights.
It upsets me that you can't put the pulse paint, like the neon pulse paint.
Yeah.
It upsets me that you can't put that like on another skin. Like, let me double up those 2 because the pulse paints are really nice. Hey, Frontier, I've got an idea for you. Stop working on whatever game improvements you're working on. Just let me do that.
Oh my goodness. Right. Are we all overwhelmed enough with those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. We shall move on to an ad break just to give our eyes a rest.
Can we just touch on the fact that the store sale has changed as well?
Oh, has it?
Yeah, store sales changed. As I mentioned before, I was trying to give you a nice segue, but the vibrant purples. All of the.
Oh my god, that is purpley purple.
Yeah, well,
it's
it was the ones that we got as part of Twitch drops. Like when Elite first started doing Twitch drops, everyone got all of these, unless obviously you bought Elite after the after those were a thing. But now in the store, every single purple for the old ships. I don't think there's new ones.
Can't get it for a fleet carrier though. Wow.
Yeah, you got them for. I think you got them for all of them when you did when the Twitch drops were on, but they're really nice.
Yeah, it doesn't include the new ones. So the Mandalay, the Type 8, the Python, the Cobra don't have it.
Fair enough.
Lovely.
Hopefully they'll come.
Right. Well, that's fair enough. Those are very, very purple. So yeah. Always useful to try and get me to say the word purple. Yeah. We'll take a break. At least it's not a burglar.
What type of burglar alarm?
Stop it, you Scottish people.
Right, we're going to take a break just to give me one. and then we'll discuss things when we come back.
Some ships don't feel the same. Some fights always go one way. Core Dynamics, bringing you strength, power, and performance. The chance to fight the good fight and to destroy the competition. From the Eagle to the Federal Corvette, we can offer you an advantage in every skirmish, every battle and every single fight. Because we know how to win every time. For the Federation.
This is a public service announcement from the Fuel Rats. Please stop what you're doing and pay attention. If we can rescue you, we will, but you can help us help you by following these easy steps. 1. Fly 50 light seconds or so from the system's main star and drop out of Supercruise. 2. Note down the current system and the nearest stellar body. 3. If you're on emergency life support, log out immediately. 4. Go to fuelrats.org and click Get Help. 5. Stay calm, hold your breath, and let our seasoned professionals do what they do best. The Fuel Rats. We have fuel, you don't. Any questions?
Hey kids, it's Azimuth Biotech. And we're here to tell you some sad news. Our knuckleheads down at the Starshine Imaginarium were a bit too true to life when they made the new Hunter class of Tickle Me Thargoid. And on the advice of our lawyers, Azimuth Biotech is asking for all of you to return your Tickle Me Thargoid Glaves to your nearest toy store to receive a full refund. We would also like to offer our heartfelt condolences to the Jones family in HIP 71682 and invite them on an all-expenses-paid trip to Hind Mine in Titari so that our top scientists can do everything they can to save little Astrid's sight. Keep your eyes peeled for a Titanic surprise coming to a toy store near you soon. This has been a message from Azimuth Biotech. Remember, you owe us.
And welcome back. Well, we're going to touch on something we got from Dataless at bsky.social. They asked the question, I wonder what you guys think of CQC getting some love this year. So I thought I'd go around the crew and see what their opinions of this are. So we'll start with the Chris's. We'll start with Chris Mark 4.
CQC, I have played barely any CQC. It's just never particularly grabbed me as a thing. I think there's a few bits and pieces that could be done to drag me a bit. Yeah, not a massive CQC player at the moment. Sorry, Colin.
That's fine, because it's a valid opinion, because it's CQC, and the same for the Chris Mark.
What would bring you into it? What you said there were a few things that would bring you into it. What kind of things would bring you into it?
So a lot of the time, like when I've had fun in a group in Elite Dangerous, is when we've sort of hung out and created our own mini CQC kind of stuff. So where we've arranged to maybe meet up and do a bit of on foot in a settlement where there was like a war zone in your area. And I know that we sort of did a thing in your Discord sidekick where we all hung out and did something like that. Like the ability to arrange to play with your friends and get lobbied together, that would bring me into CQC. Like if there was like an arranged thing we can meet up and we can do some CQC together. That'd be great. Like if it made it a bit easier for you to lobby with friends.
Yeah.
Cool. It's sort of like if it was more if I had other people that were doing it, if I knew other people that were doing it at the same time, I think it would drag me in more than me just sort of joining the lobby and farting about.
That's fine. Sorry, I got voice attack trying to annoy me at the moment. I don't know why. What about? I mean, Alec, have you had a? You're not a fan of CQC, are you?
So how much did you say you'd played, Chris? Very little.
Very little. Like
Yeah.
I've joined in like a couple of times to do stuff in CQC.
I've played less than Chris. I've played 0. I have never once in 10 years queued up for a CQC match. The why is interesting, and it's one of those problems that I really struggle with. It's a bit like trying to explain why I won't have an alt, or it's kind of touches on that kind of immersion thing, and what somehow for me crosses some kind of line in Elite. I find it very hard to explain. I feel like if CQC happened at a place in the Elite Dangerous universe, if I could jump in my Cobra and I could do my power play weeklies, and I could go, I fancy a bit of a break, and I could fly somewhere in the Elite Dangerous galaxy and sort of get out of my ship and get into my simulation, my holodeck or whatever, and do some CQC. I think I would do it, but there's something about it being separate. It just doesn't sit with me. I just don't take it seriously, and I just think, do I want to play Elite or do I want to play CQC? I think I'll play some Elite.
Yeah, I know, because
it's just that.
The thing is, CQC is supposed to be a virtual game within the game, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, sure.
And it is available from the comms panel.
I know, and that makes it even harder to justify my reason. I mean, I'm really on thin ice trying to justify it when it is actually there. I suppose the other thing is just the Musketeer problem needs solving, and that's not about Musketeer specifically. It's about being able to meet up with a specific group of people, being able to meet up with the people of a similar level, and having bots in there, I suppose, even so that you can just have a quiet game of CQC with some bots and get used to it.
Yeah, that's pretty much a lot of complaints of CQC. Claire.
Hi.
Hi.
Right. Okay. So agreed, and I'm remiss to call it a Musketeer problem in the same way that Alec is remiss to call it a Musketeer problem. But I think there's I used to play a fair amount of Warzone, Call of Duty. But as you leveled up within that, you'd unlock more guns and unlock more abilities. So effectively, as you got more as you progressed in the game, I mean, you could just get it from playing a long period of time, but as you progressed in the game, you would then subsequently get better and more enabled to do things, and that happened. That's the same way that CQC, my personal experience of CQC, I see level 60s because not enough people play it, probably because this is an issue, but I see like level 60s or level whatever it is going around with these weapons that I don't have access to and absolutely beating me to the ground. And where's the incentive for me to play? One, where's the incentive for me to play? It has no real bearing on my progression anywhere in the game, with the exception of a CQC elite option, like a CQC rank, which I don't give two shits about because I'm triple elite in everything else. So I don't see why that matters, and that's not enough of an incentive. Yes, there is I believe that if you hit CQC elite, you gain access to a system. Like there is a system that you get a permit lock for, something like that. I'm all right. I've got access to all of the other systems. You know, I don't need access to that. I've already got access to Shinrata Deathra. Unless that's giving away shit for free, I'm good.
Yeah.
What would I like? What would make me want to play it more? Actually, giving it like a real world, an in-game implication, or even rewarding some. We talked about it on Monday. We were playing because I was like, hey. If I stream Elite on Monday, I tell people to go and answer the question of the week because, of course, I do. So we talked about it, and there were a couple of bits along the lines of saying, "Hey, how about we look at giving like ARCs rewards to the top X amount of people in CQC?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's great, but it would need to start from scratch again, and everyone would need to be reset."
Yeah. I completely agree with that. Yeah, I would completely agree with that in every way or form. Apathis, have you? When was the last time you played CQC?
Little bit last year, but that's only because I was really close to the next rank. So that I played a little bit just so that I had it at 0 at the next rank up.
Yeah,
just to get rid of it as a part of the field bar. I've played a bit in the past. Usually when others are trying to arrange sort of CQC matches, but it kind of falls apart once you get above 4 players, because then trying to play with the others, it's a game of chance of whether you get in the same match or you know, some randoms come in and be like Claire was saying with the level difference. If you're just going in there at low level and someone, I don't know, 10 or so levels higher comes in, you've got no chance because their ship is just massively overpowered and the weapons as well. So
yeah. I mean, CQC for me is when it works is a really nicely balanced arena shooter and fun. Most importantly, it's fun. The problem is that everything around that core gameplay that needs to support it is not there. It's funny when you mentioned this. I went back to a post on the forums that I was looking at, where I listed everything of which I thought was wrong with the game before Odyssey came out. And CQC was in amongst all that, and looking through what was needed there is exactly the same as what is needed now. You needed a lobby to replace the Discord, the CQC Discord, which is there, so that people can talk about setting up matches. You need to be able to set up custom matches for people to say, right, okay, I just want to play with my mates here, and we're all going to do a capture the flag or something like that, so that they can. You set up custom matches. You invite in the people that you want. You can pad it out with bots if you want. The third thing is they really need better spectator views where people can actually watch the action, what's happening, because although it could be actually quite a good esports thing if it went on. And of course, yeah, the number one for this one is the matchmaking, is because the matchmaking in the existing system is, let's be honest, terrible. It always has been from day one, because I remember it came out and me and Cal were both trying desperately to get into a match together, because the main problem back then was you needed 4 people in an arena to start a match, and we weren't even matching up with 1 or 2 people, because it's improved, but I wouldn't say it's improved by much. And the main question I know is that, do you think it's going to get some love this year? It hasn't had love for 10 years since it was launched. I don't think they're going to be interested in it. I mean, yeah, it's a bit of a shame. I was talking to Crash about it, and he said the person that designed it had these fantastic, lofty ideas about it becoming an esports and all that kind of stuff, and they worked really hard at balancing the entry level with the fighters and things like that. But yeah, it doesn't stop. I mean, we say Commander Musketeer is fantastic at that game. But the problem with Commander Musketeer being that fantastic at it is that no one else stands a chance, and it's very distant it really takes away any enthusiasm when you've lost yet again 8-0.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, we could be wrong, because for years we were saying, oh, they're not going to do anything with power play. And look what happened.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. We certainly did say that.
Have I missed anybody else?
You missed Chris.
Go ahead, Chris.
Played it a couple of times. got really bored of hearing, what was it, warning, heat damage, and then exploding, regardless of where I had pips, because the ship that I had access to didn't have heat sinks, so I just kind of accepted that occasionally I would overhear and just explode, or overheat and explode, and that was kind of my experience with it. I hope it gets a look in again. It needs it.
You know what? We talked about this. I didn't talk about it here, I don't think, because I don't think I was doing Lave before Odyssey came out. But I think there was a lot of talk about when Odyssey came out, going, "Oh well, we'll get on foot CQC."
Yeah,
we'll get on foot CQC, and I would have played the utter shit out of that. The amount of middle-aged men I would have owned using stock weapons in a CQC game. I'd have been the musketeer of.
Talk about a headshot.
God, oh man,
Well,
I feel remiss to not have that opportunity.
I mean, that was on my list of things that I would do. You know, like the fixes. One of them was on CQC, but I assume we're going to talk about that later, I guess.
Yeah, go on then, Chris.
So I think
unleash.
Oh God, no! I'm gonna have to go and read what I said now. Bloody hell!
Oh, the effort we have to put you through.
I know, man.
I know it's unfair. My waffle. So I'd add on Fiti CQC, where it's some sort of arena battle, training facility with cover and buildings to fight in and through. Maybe deathmatch mode, capture the flag, because capture the flag and hold the building are kind of in the game already in some ground CZs.
Yeah.
Eat some NPCs into the current on ship CQC.
Yep.
Bring down queue time. Other idea I had, no idea how it would work, is involving the Scorpion SRVs. Like,
that would be fantastic. And
no idea how it would make
SRV. How shall I put it? SRV deathmatch, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then a mode where you play through all three modes, like a triathlon of death, maybe a death race, if you will. And then the ground mode, I'd like it to have the option that you can bring in modified weapons or use stock weapons and armor. You know, because I don't know how they would do it unless they give you like a suit, but you know, that's kind of what I would look to do. And I think maybe like one huge CQC map, which would have all three in one big map. So you could have people running around with rocket launchers shooting, you know, SRVs and SRVs shooting peeps with their little guns, and then in the skies, like fighters. I would keep it just to the fighters. I wouldn't bother with the Sidewinder Eagle. I would just have it as the SLFs flying around in the sky, fighting each other. That'd be pretty cool. Especially if you get taken down by, like, exploding ships and stuff. That's it.
I don't know.
That's what I would do.
It's interesting hearing Chris talking about those things. I was just thinking, like, you know, all those things are kind of possible in the main game. And I suppose what CQC and having all those different, like, deathmatch ideas in it would be, it's like, you know, so a bunch of us wanted to go SRV racing together, and we did it, but it's quite a lot of hassle, actually. You do have to have a group, and you have to promote your group and tirelessly try and encourage people to come along, and eventually you get a gang and you go and do it. And then I constantly see people on the forums or whatever going, "Oh, I'd love to try some racing," and you just go, "Well, come on, we're doing it." And you just think something like CQC, if you just make it easy and you get the matchmaking right, and people go, "I fancy shooting some people," or "I fancy racing some people," or then you're right there in a immediately in a forum where there's a bunch of other people that are waiting to do exactly the same thing. It's definitely got potential.
Yeah, you don't need to give up on your exploring dreams of going out and then not being able to race or not be able to do a GPU. You can jump into CQC and you can get your bit of that fix for a little moment in there. Yeah. And we've talked about before how we would love to see stuff like racetracks in the game. And I can see why Frontier might be like, we don't really want to have racetracks in our thing because we wouldn't have racetracks built out there, realism, blah, blah, blah. But you can totally do it in your little arcade game, can't you? You could put it in there.
Especially because the flight training has the models of the things that you need to fly through.
Yeah.
I feel like all the bits are there for all the things we've discussed and all the things that Chris has discussed. Sorry.
Here we go. Hibki.
Everyone drink.
Yeah. I mean, one of the things that I always wanted from Odyssey, which is a weird thing, was that I mean, I know that we've got in the communications panel in the top right, it's got queue for CQC matches. But I also was hoping, because in lore it's supposed to be this galaxy-wide video game, that there was like an arcade cabinet, like the old sit-down arcade cabinets you used to have, and you just pop your commander in there and then log into CQC that way. And yeah, it's a weird one because it's set in the Elite universe. The ships actually perform slightly differently in CQC than they do in the main game. I think the fighters turn tighter, while the Sidewinder doesn't, which is weird. But that's all there for balance purposes. But yeah, like the original 1.3 power play, I think it got 90% of the way there, and it just failed on that last 10%. I mean, there's one thing we could all do is next week, if there's no news, we could just say, right, we're not going to have a proper show. We're just going to have a CQC match.
Absolutely not. You can't. You couldn't pay me.
Just get stuck in a queue.
I'd much rather just talk shit with Alec for the whole show. If you guys want to go and play CQC, that's not a problem.
Yeah. So, overall, well, we'd like it to get a little bit of attention, but whether or not it gets any, well, I don't know.
You know what?
I think there are more important things that this game needs than
we can't say that, Colin. We can't say we're not expecting it to get touched anymore, because we said we're not expecting power play to happen, and then power play have happened, and then me and Alex said we're not expecting you to be able to put it will be a pipe dream to be able to put your pick and choose exactly where you put your station on a planet. So you know what? It would be a pipe dream. It would be the most amazing thing if Frontier both gave us colorblind settings and looked at CQC. Sorry, I had to fit in the other one first.
Very true. Right. So that's everybody's opinion. Well, that question was asked in the question of the week, wasn't it, Claire?
It was, yeah. So, because I just thought it was really interesting, and we've talked about colonization for so long, I wanted to shoot myself in the head. Don't worry, we'll come back to that. But yeah, we asked again, what would you like to see for, thanks to Daedalus, absolutely, what would you like to see or change or whatever with regard to CQC? We do a question of the week every Sunday. So on Sunday, we post on Twitter, on Blue Sky, and on Discord. Those are the three places, because those are the three accounts that I have got access to. So we post in those for the question of the week, and come and answer the question, and we get to this point and we start discussing them. Takoso answered. Takoso did a lot of answering. Takoso said Guardian fighters that can change shape from small to wide, more rag team stuff, so heavy beams or healing a player whose ship is incapacitated, maybe not exploded. More speed boosts and power ups. They're too far out usually. He'd love to see maps around capital ships where you either defend or attack one, or even two capital ships facing off. If you manage to take out one's fighters, then you can board it, and on-foot battles would work towards the main control room. Bots to fill out a match with similar ranked NPCs. Also, it would be great to be able to watch matches in station bars. Choose from a list and watch. Impossible, but it would be cool. To which Commander Marina Oatmeal replied, not sure how entirely impossible it would be. The framework for spectating could be drawn from how you spectate the dropship vultures when dropping into ground CZs, although it's another case of being super helpful. This would be awesome if there were seasonal CG-like tournaments. To which Tokuso replied back, yes, tournaments would be amazing. Plus, they need racing in CQC. Use the boost rings as numbered checkpoints. Have sections going through tunnels, etc. Have time leaderboard. Then randomize the checkpoints every week for new races. Tom had a lot of ideas.
Amazing. Tom doesn't want much.
No.
But I'll agree with every single one of them.
100%, yeah.
I have got one here from Actual Genius Elvis Kremen. I would like to see NPCs fill out empty slots and none of this throwing new people in with folk who have max rank and all the ships and weapons. Maybe a pre-built series of ships per type of map, and throwing in nice little reward or two might get me to try it out a little more.
Nice.
Indeed, I have nicey. No limitations. Oh goodness. NPCs to pad out sessions that don't have many players, an on-foot arena, in-atmosphere arena, and fixed instancing. I want to play it all.
Yeah, instancing needs to be fixed.
Yeah.
I'm still queuing.
Are you literally queuing for it at the moment?
Yep.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, right, hang on then.
No, go away.
Colin's like, show what show? I must see you see.
Bet. To CQC,
right,
everyone.
It's right, Colin. I'll do the clothes.
It's fine. I've got.
How come? Just quickly, I'm actually just leaving the Lave Radio bar at the moment. It says I'm in danger and must wait.
You are in danger. You're always a little bit in danger, Colin.
I have a knife.
Bicycle is lurking.
It's this bloke that's been walking around the ceiling. He's going to jump on you any minute.
Yeah, we should. Let's touch on that. Let's touch on that right now before we get to Katie. Katie doesn't mind waiting, but let's touch on that right now. For the whole of today's show, on we have the show the images of people playing. For the whole of today's show, Chris Mark 4 has been sat in the bar, and there has been somebody floating around the bar.
So it's got more curious because it has been Ulrich Octavius who has been floating around the bar, and currently in the bar, Ulrich is standing on the ground next to his floating corpse, which is currently in front of me. So his mid-float, he paused, and he is still there, and he's just standing next to his body that is suspended in the air. I have no idea what has been going on in the bar.
So,
he's been untethered for gravity.
A really long time ago, we had quite a few people in a fleet carrier. A really, really long time ago. It was back when Frontier still just did stuff on the Elite Dangerous stream. So it's at least 2 years ago. And Kremen was floating around the top of one of my fleet carrier. It's a clip that's on my channel, but Kremen was floating around the top of the fleet carrier, and Frontier and Elite Dangerous raided in while Kremen was floating, very similar to this.
Wasn't he able to fire his gun?
I can't remember.
So Ulrich hasn't been able to fire his gun, but he has been able to use his torch.
Oh.
And annoy several NPCs in the fact that he has been floating around the station. So, yeah. I don't know how it's possible, but it has been possible throughout this program.
He's not elite CQC rank, is he?
Is that one of the power-ups? You get, once you get to a top rank, you're able to float around station concourses.
That's because you're holding space.
No.
Holding room, yep. Yep.
Something defying gravity?
Yep.
No.
Oh, dear. Right.
Anyway, back. Sorry, Pavis.
So I've got Katiana with On foot CQC, that would be peak comfort game for me.
Yeah, I feel it entirely.
Yeah.
Well, I've got Dr. K. Ross. She wants jousting.
I mean,
now that's a random suggestion. That's hilarious.
I think it's fantastic.
Jousting.
Yeah, just like a big pool that's as long as the ship in front, and if it's the same as the joust game.
Anaconda jousting, you have to go for the belly.
I like the idea of someone on top of the roof of an SRV with the jousting thing. That's the way I want. Make it like a proper, like you've got to do it in a team where you've got someone driving the SRV and you've got someone on the top with the jousting pole.
So fun. Yeah, do you remember the joust video game? You just had to be slightly above
the
other joust.
You had to be a pixel above the other birds.
That would work in the SRV if you'd have to time your boost just right to just be above the other SRV at the point of contact. Could actually work.
Oh, the innuendo level here is it's horrendously high. We shall move on from joust,
right?
Because basically that means that Psycho Cal would send me that game again, and I don't want that.
Oh, I think another game you mean now. Right, Profane Pagan says the virtual reality CQC championship by Utopics Entertainment could be tied together with Power Play. Imagine bringing home a cup to your power after every month, which would yield lots of merits. Plus, I'd love to see on-foot and SRV bouts. But here's the fun part. CQC is virtual reality, so it'd be great if we could fight in and around unrealistic, surreal locations. For example, CQC at Thargoid Titan's remnants around the Spire sites when two planets are colliding in an outpost which is being bombarded by a dreadnought, etc. And give us commentator voice lines too. So make CQC's presentation bombastic, exaggerated, show-like, with cheers, disco lights, and crazy virtual environments. And get new up-tempo music with leitmotif for CQC. Like it. Turn it up.
Turn it up. Turn it up. More music.
I do like the idea that, there's nothing stopping it because it's not necessarily in the kind of prop gen galaxy.
Yeah.
You could throw everything into it. You could throw the inclined orbit in a purple sky with an exploding Thargoid ship in the you could throw it all in.
Make it full bonkers.
Full CQC around a Thargoid Titan. Exploding Thargoid Titan.
Just nonsense, just like full nonsense. That's what we need. Like proper spectacles as well, so that that's something to incentivize those people who really like taking pictures and shit. I've heard there's a few of them in Elite, but those people who really like taking pictures and shit, they can get into that kind of thing.
I'm a little bit worried that I'm going to log in my little ship and Colin's going to be flying a Thargoid Titan at me.
That seems balanced. Yeah, that seems balanced.
Yeah, it seems unfair. I'm going with unfair.
That'd be Mouseketeer flying it.
Yeah. That's true. Colin would be following on, and I don't know, some sort of slightly smaller Titan. Sorry, Colin.
That's fine. I'm used to it.
Mr. Wendell says 50 noobs in Sidewinders versus a pro in a Corvette. That's not enough Sidewinders. Or PvP pink slips, where the winner takes home both ships permanently. Everyone else can place bets with in-game credits. Make it a spectator event like the Colosseum in Rome.
Amazing.
I like the idea of a Colosseum. Silas Resi probably have matches over Odyssey, settlements, and an on-foot element, also including the possibility where you could be shot down from the settlement with shoulder-launched Packhounds, and maybe some ground attack or close air support scenarios.
I'm sorry, I've got a semi from shoulder-launched Packhounds.
Shoulder-launched Packhounds. I don't know, but I think I found a name for our band. Anyway, carry on.
Well, semi-launched Packhounds.
Shoulder-launched Packhounds, yeah.
Oh dear.
So I've got Daedalus, and it's I'm going to reiterate with Zara for NPC pilots to fill spaces when there aren't enough human commanders out to play. It would then make a nice way to break up play when out exploring in the black. That's me.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, NPC pilots. NPC pilots definitely helps just for just to pad out space.
Completely agree.
I've got JN tracks. At this point, the only issue worth talking about is being able to connect to active matches. So fixing the netcode and adding any kind of match browser. We know of regularly scheduled games where it's always some players crash matched into games that have open slots. So I think they're after some bug fixes there.
Oh yeah, the net code for it is pretty horrible, to be honest.
Maybe. You never know.
Yeah, I know. Oh, so I have Commander Maradin Oatmeal. NPCs would be huge, and I do believe a full rebalancing is in order, and a complete overhaul on how progression works. The current system is slow and very punishing for newbies. Also, meaningful rewards. I'd also like to see the Guardian SLFs added because they're really cool. They are really cool, but I can't remember the last time I flew one.
Last time I took pictures in Elite. Yeah.
Never.
No. I got all of them. Like getting all of them. I highly recommend going and doing that spectacle of going and getting them because it's brilliant. But they're really good for taking pictures.
They are. They're super cool. That's the only flighters I ever have in my ships because I just love them.
Yeah, they're quite good for racing as well. If you're doing a little meetup somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Commander Bowring says, it used to be fun. Now the only people who play it are far too good at it. Getting more players should be the main aim, and this might be achieved by connecting it to the main game, e.g. weekly power play missions could include combat training through it. Yeah.
There's mandatory weeklies now doing CQC.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be averse to it. You know, there's got to be some way to make it a thing that has a direct impact. Do you know what I mean? Because that's where the incentive has to be.
Yeah, I mean, people have been crying out for material rewards or even arcs for taking part in matches, and even if you offered that, then people will at least try the matchmaking. But the matchmaking has to be fixed because that's always been its Achilles heel.
It surprises me that we... Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. I was just going to say that's the thing. If it's a fun little thing that you might be tempted to jump into, if you do decide to jump into it, it's got to work. It's got to just work.
Yeah. And when it does work, a blast has been had by all. And literally, in some cases. But, it's no point having a really tight arena shooter if you can't join it.
It just surprises me that it's not something... They didn't add NPCs when they started it because it just feels like if you had like NPCs in the same way that you go to a ground base and you go and do a CZ at a ground base, or you go a CZ anywhere and you're fighting alongside NPC pilots. I just think that would make it so much more interesting to do that.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Again, that people have been crying out for that since it was launched.
So, Colin, I know you've done a bit, maybe more than some of us CQC. Am I right in thinking that the NPCs that you would need in CQC would need to be a lot more kind of agile and reactive than the NPCs we have in the live game? I mean, it's fast action, right?
I think that the NPCs, the higher ranked NPCs in the live game, they would be able to hack a CQC match,
really?
Especially with lower rated players.
But isn't it quite fast and furious around tight circuits and?
Oh, it is. Yes, but I still think that they'd be able to manage.
Interesting.
Admittedly, we don't have the Mistress of Minions anymore because her AI code was pretty good. So yeah.
Because wasn't it the case that a lot of the AI had to actually be dialed down because it was too good at certain points, wasn't it? Yes. It was like, no, the AI needs to get worse because we keep getting beat by it. So
no, there was a point where the AI was taught itself to be even better. And there was a multiplier effect where one bit of AI worked with another bit of AI, and it made the pilots incredible. Which I wish they could do that for our fighter crew at the moment, because they seem to have been dumbed down.
They've gone the opposite way.
Yeah, they've been lobotomized.
I suppose I just think like, sorry, I was when I think about how I imagine CQC and zipping through tunnels and things, and then I think about all the AI ships stacked up at Jameson Memorial's mail slot, looking like complete idiots, going, "Oh, I don't know what to do now." I just can't marry those two working very well together.
Or the Thargoids as they plough through the ground.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
It adds an extra fun element where you've got to try and shoot them despite the fact they've phased through a station that's there in CQC. That adds the extra element to it.
Yeah.
That's what you want. I've got a response from, I don't know how to say this, the ST1GS.
The Stig's cousin.
The Stig's cousin.
There
Stig's cousin. Ah, there we go. That's what it is. The Stig's cousin. Fantastic. Whenever you click on CQC, it automatically starts up Star Wars Squadrons.
Which suffers from exactly the same problem. Star Wars Squadrons. No, it's got like I said, it's a really it's split into two sections. You got the campaign, which it's fine. It's a straightforward X-wing campaign. It's really well done. But then they've got this two fantastic scenarios that goes with it on multiplayer, and one was where you take part in a fleet battle, which is amazing, and the other one's a straightforward deathmatch. When it first came out, you got matches all over the place, but as time's gone on and as the game has no longer supported or has received less support, people have drifted away. So the only people that are left now are the really, really good ones, or there's nobody playing at all. So it's exactly the same problem with CQC. I see what he did there. Because me and Ben used to play it a lot on a Monday night with my friend Ralph, and we got really good as a cohesive team, and then all of a sudden, all gone.
Yeah.
Nobody, it happens with all these sort of arena shooters eventually, doesn't it?
I think when I'm gonna call the ones where you're flying around in spaceships kind of niche. You like it reminds me a little bit. It's going to remind me very much of Lemnis Gate, whereas like the player base was so small, and you'd end up in a match with someone who was so good that you just stopped playing because it like the skill, when the skill level is so high and you're getting constantly battered, you're gonna turn around and you're not gonna do anything. So
it's so demotivating unless you get a win from time to time. But it's the old Musketeer problem. He's just too good, so you never get a win. So you go, fuck.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're. It's like you're damned if you do, you're not damned if you don't. So you don't,
Yeah, it's a case of get good. Oh, I can't be asked.
Yeah, like I've got better things to do with my time.
Okay, I've got Commander Freya Crescent. Practice sessions that could be offline if need be. Getting stronger AI just to get a feel for the format. But kind of double back what you're saying about the whole can't be arsed, get good. If you're against somebody that good, you can't get good because you don't have anything to step towards it with. There's no nice build up. It'd be like just taking someone who's maybe done a couple of boxing lessons, throwing them in and against Tyson Fury and going, get good.
Yeah.
How can I get good? I've got no eyes anymore.
Yeah, I don't think he's particularly good boxer, but you know.
And maybe there's no real solution to this one, but I know from my experience of racing that I would say I would say that people have a ceiling on their skill level, and not everybody's ceiling is the same. So, like, this sounds like such quitter talk, but I honestly, and with no resentment and no kind of whatever, I don't think I'll ever be as good at driving the SRV as Sker. I just don't, and that I'm fine with that. But when it's competitive and you're and the, it's like CQC and you're blowing each other up, it doesn't matter to me. That's not quite true or fair, but I hope you know what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter to me that I come second or third, to Sker. It doesn't ruin my night that I can never win. I sort of accept my place on the leaderboard. I'm absolutely chuffed to bits to be able to come third in a race. But if it's combat, I guess it's harder to swallow, because you're getting killed a lot, and that's
the difference. Because the problem is because the skill level's so different. It's a case of, okay, I'm increasing my speed, I'm dead. I'm increasing my speed, I'm dead. I'm taking evasive action as soon as I started, I'm dead. And that it's not enjoyable, it's not fun. And that's the problem.
And that's hard. And you almost, and I know this would be hard to swallow from the other side of the coin, but you almost need to penalize people that are better. Have like a handicap system of some sort.
Yeah, or at least restrict the equipment that people have, so everyone's stuck on just the basic ship.
I mean, look, someone like Musketeer obviously clearly loves CQC. I'm sure they would find it more enjoyable if their matches were more of a challenge.
Mm-hmm.
I think.
Can we just point out that from what I've read of and talked to Musketeer, he's actually quite a genuinely nice chap.
Yeah, I'm sure.
No one's denying that.
just to say, it's not his fault the game's ruined. It's actually
this is not a hit piece on Musketeer.
It's not a hit piece on Musketeer. It's just that he's a prime example of what.
Well, we talk about things that put you off from going and playing CQC, and we know that Musketeer is excellent at the game, so we're going to use him as an example. It's not a hit piece. You're a lovely, lovely chap.
Yeah.
Just in case they hear this back and go, Lave Radio hates me. No, we don't. Honest. It's just a prime example of a problem with CQC.
So do you just call him a problem?
Let's not do this.
Let's not. Let's not make things worse than it already is.
Keep thinking.
After another Lave Radio apology.
Oh my god.
Another one. Look, we've just spent the last 2 minutes grovelling as a way of saying sorry. Oh dear. Right.
Yes,
Save us.
I've got Cheb's Will. Really say it used to be good when you clicked play and ended up in a full match of various skills. Now, even if you wait for ages, you get a 1v1 with one of the few left playing it in a maxed out ship, and that just maxed out ship that just runs rings around you and kills you before you even get a shot off. Sometimes, I guess I'd go. I guess I'd go for a few changes. Remove the rank improvements to the ships, but add more balance mods. Even rank 1 players can get. So all players are approx in balance ships. Improve the rewards a lot for doing CQC, more cash, arcs, materials, or whatever to encourage more players. For the rank increases, add in unique unlockable fighter skins, decals for ships that you can use in normal elite. Some new maps, battle around a planetary port, even one on an Earth-like planet.
Now, don't go too far. Everything was fine until we got to Earth-like.
Crazy now. Do all of Takoso's stuff, but steady on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got to draw the line somewhere.
Yeah, 100%.
Last of all, we have Crazy Crane, who says, need a reason to play. Maybe arcs, unique cockpit decorations, ship kits or banners, like the new power play ones, being able to practice with NPCs, maybe faction or power play championships. Yeah, all good. I was thinking about the rewards that you effectively get, the better gear, the better you are, and how that's kind of makes things even worse. But yeah, if the rewards for being good were in-game stuff, decals and maybe some arcs and maybe materials, then it wouldn't matter. If you were good and you were getting that stuff, it wouldn't matter that maybe you were also getting handicapped for more even matches. It would
Care packages every rank up.
Yeah.
Like your power play stuff, care
but
packages
not
every
better
rank.
equipped than CQC to make you even better than you were
No.
to start with. I mean, yeah.
Now, CQC has had a weird history. I mean, it came out in 1.4. It was originally supposed to be just an Xbox, something for the Xbox, but then everybody complained that it should come with the PC as well. So it came out with 1.4, and yeah, originally you could buy it separately for a $5. Then it was given away for free on Steam.
Free. It was like a arena championship or something.
Yeah, it was a standalone thing for free, which you'd link into other people who were playing the main game. Then they withdrew it, and the only place you could see it. And then, of course, the matching has to be right. So if people are in live, that's Elite without Odyssey, they can't see people in Odyssey, and vice versa. And it gets a bit. You can tell it's been left behind the rest of the game. And yeah, it would need a good kick in the pants in order to get it, I think, up to snuff with the rest of the game.
Yeah, it's interesting from this list, going down this list. There are loads of perfectly decent, achievable ways in which it could be made fucking brilliant if you could sort the networking out. I guess maybe that's the real gotcha.
Yeah, but the thing about this is that for those of us who have played it and had good matches, we've always had good experiences, except when you're obviously outnumbered by one really good player. But if you get a balanced match, it is a laugh, and that's one of the problems or disappointments about this, is that it is so much fun to play, but only when you can actually get a game. And that's the. We're not angry. We're just disappointed.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's try and have something a little bit more upbeat.
Hey, you know what? This has been kind of fun. This has been really interesting. So don't upbeat me, because we'll just start talking. I swear to God, I will turn this ship around and we will start talking about colonization again.
Yes. Okay. Fair enough then. Try and think of something, but not colonization next week.
We will be fine. It'll be right.
Has anybody got any other business they would like to talk about?
Yes.
No. Go on. Excellent.
Yes, I do. Hey, folks. Game special effect. I'm speaking directly to streamers of space games. So any space games that you might play, and you enjoy streaming them. Hey, special effect, the gamers charity, the ones that make accessibility amazing for lots of people around the world, predominantly in the UK, but they give advice to other people in the world, around the world. You may have heard of them. They won a BAFTA.
Age works for them.
Yeah, they at the end of February, there is the 21st to 23rd of February is Game Blast 2025, which is their big fundraiser where they do a lot of fundraising for Game Blast. They aim, like, this weekend is a big push for it. I am looking to put together a group of commanders, interlopers, people who play Starfield, citizens. I'm going to pretend that that's what you're called. A group, a group of people who might be interested in streaming over that weekend and raising money for the incredible folks over at Special Effect, or doing something that weekend for this wonderful folks at Special Effect, raising money for Game Blast. If you're interested, there is a link in the show notes to a Discord. There will probably be at some point a web page to register your interest as well, but I haven't done that yet. Consider it. Thanks.
Excellent. Always willing to support a Special Effects. So, I guess we'll do the shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, it broadcasts on a Thursday from 8:30. You can tune in at twitch.tv Hutton Orbital Truckers, or if you just want the audio, go to radio.forthemug.com. For the discerning commander that likes a bit of CQC action, you can check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/EliteDangerousCQC. Tell them that Lave Radio sent you and run away from Musketeer. We'll also give a shout outs to the following Elite Dangerous podcasts. So there's the Guard Frequency, who do other space games as well. And there's the wonderful Loose Screws for everything you could possibly want to know about shields. And then some. And if you speak French.
Colin, I need to be very serious with you right now. I let the funky music do the talking. How many times do I have to tell you? God.
A lot, obviously.
God!
There is the Elite Dangerous podcast, but they also do these fantastic missions as well, so we always will recommend them. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest, as provided by Commander Witherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. Now, we'd just like to thank everyone who's chipped in on the Twitch chat, and the in-game commanders that we've had this time, Chris, are...
we have had Little Bigian, we have had Defying Gravity, Ulrich Octavius and his floating corpse, Burn Jones, Ned McReady, Matt Stryker, Julie, Bernard McGrew, Arachnophobus, Edward Tedward, Crostorman, Phoenix Defear, and Soka42.
It's packed today. Nice.
Yes. Busy old bar with the floating corpse.
It's the flaming corpse bar from Planescape Torment. Then, right. So special thanks goes to Commander Tokuso, JN Trax, and Alan Stroud, who have created music that we use in this show. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you'd like to get in touch with the show, you can find all the contact links in the home/contact us menu section of the laveradio.com website. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. So, special thanks to Apathis.
You're welcome.
Excellent. The Chris Mark 4.
You're welcome.
We have the Chris Mark 5.
You're welcome.
See, I told you, still can't tell the difference.
You definitely can.
Commander Alec Turner.
You're welcome.
Oh, I can tell the difference. And of course, the wonderful Commander Psychic.
I think you'll find it's Commander Claire. Get it right, Colin. Jesus. You're welcome, Okai. That's right. That's how it sounds like. That's Scottish. Right?
That's exactly. Yeah,
100%. 100%. You couldn't tell the difference, right?
If you could see how hard I just face palmed, you'd. Oh dear.
Okay. Scottish, angry, no money. What? I'm not paying for that. There we go. I'm there.
We'll cut that out in the edit.
No, we won't. No, we won't.
No, we won't.
Good impression of the finance secretary. Carry on.
A special thanks, of course, goes to Commander Apathis for doing the tech tonight. It has been Apathis, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It has been Epicris.
Right. I got something right. Hey. So, until next time, Commanders, fly safe. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
nice having an orange inserted. Need a safe word.
Space Cathedral.
I'm gonna see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 28th of January, 3311.
Imperial powers are expanding into new territory faster than their competitors, according to Conrad Sterling of Vox Galactica. While Alliance Prime Minister Edmund Mahon is still the largest single power, Princess Aisling and the Emperor have been catching up, with Aisling likely to become the largest power within a fortnight. The Emperor remains in third place, but has been expanding her influence faster than the two frontrunners, gaining 127 systems in the 8 weeks to 23rd of January, compared with 59 for Mahon and 98 for the Princess. Rogue Federal Admiral Yuri Grom is the only other serious contender as a frontrunner in power play, with just over 1,000 systems. But it's not all been plain sailing for the Empire. Mining mogul and slave driver Senator Zemina Torval has suffered a setback following the withdrawal of Senator Petraeus' forces from the system housing the headquarters of Torval Mining, LTT-198. The two senators had agreed that Auntie Zemina really ought to manage her own system. However, Pirate King Archon Delane seems to have noticed the troop movements and swiftly moved in to take the system from the Empire. Torval Orbital now sports an untidy mixture of Delane and Torval propaganda, a black market, and an interstellar factor. Torval Mining Limited continues to run the system, but all the taxes they pay go to fund piracy.
Meanwhile, power play agents for all powers are learning the hard way that the powers are really bad at giving clear instructions about what they want. The weekly assignments often omit significant requirements, resulting in a lot of hard work going to waste. For example, an assignment to turn in exploration data will tell you the credit value required and what system to turn the data in at. It doesn't bother to tell you that you need to gather the exploration data from a system more than about 700 light years away, or that the data must all come from one system. If you're asked to sell mined commodities, you don't get told that you need to do the mining in the same system, or that any mined material left in hoppers in the refinery, because your cargo hold is full, won't be counted towards your earnings. If you're told to commit crimes to undermine another power, you might think you can commit crimes against any innocent pilots in the system. What you're not told is that only crimes committed against the ruling power's ships are counted. If you're asked to scan megaships, you're told that the fleet carriers don't count. But you're not told that in fact none of the dockable megaships count either, so there's no point trying to scan those Sirius-owned megaships that are cluttering up Mahon space. Only bulk cruisers count towards your assignment, and sometimes for no discernible reason you scan the megaship and the shiplog uplink, and it still doesn't count. It's almost as if the powers are looking for excuses not to pay you the merits that you've rightfully earned.